Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me. Before we get started, I'm going to give you the opportunity to follow along with this presentation. If you go to the link bit.ly/6th grade EyeTech, or you use the camera on a smart device and scan the QR code, you should be able to follow along. So I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to take about 20 seconds and then we will move on. And that's 20 seconds. So let's get this party started. Hi, my name is Rob Miles. I am the Instructional Technology Coach at Irving Middle School. I'm also responsible for 3 elementaries. I am a proud member of the Instructional Technology Coaches here at Norman. All of these wonderful folks you see are stationed based at a secondary school, but we're also responsible for 3 elementaries. So how did we end up with Instructional Technology Coaches? Well, that all started back in 2014 when the wonderful people of Norman passed a bond issue that became known as the NPS EyeTech Initiative. It was designed to close the digital divide, to boost the technology available in the district, to prepare our students for 21st century life. It did this by providing MacBook laptops at all secondary for all secondary students, 6 through 12. It also infused elementary schools with Apple devices, MacBooks, and iPads. So this also, the EyeTech Initiative, also expanded educational opportunities. We could bring in more digital content in form of digital textbooks or textbooks that had digital supplements. It also provided MacBook laptops for every teacher. It enhances inquiry-based learning, where we discuss a topic with students and they think up a question and do the research. The MacBook opened up a huge avenue of research for us in Norman Public Schools. And it improves opportunities to innovate and collaborate. And we, as instructional technology coaches, are all about innovating and collaborating. So, a couple of things to think about when you're in a one-to-one technology situation like we are here in Norman. It's something we've learned slowly but steadily over the last 2 years, is this is a team partnership. This is a partnership between me, you, and your child. And we have to figure out what the acceptable norms are for us using technology. A couple of things are really not negotiable. And I will show you, we've got actually a little discussion sheet for you to talk with your children about this. But first and foremost, the purpose of the MacBook is learning. That's why the district has them, that's why you have them, and that's why your students have them, is for learning. The MacBook belongs to the school. So the school kind of gets to set some of the rules on when they can be used. However, the rest of it is really kind of up to you. What activities are acceptable at home? That's a family decision for you based on your rules and your family culture. The other thing we ask is the MacBooks be charged every night so that they're ready for the next day. If the MacBook is being used just for schoolwork, the battery should last all day. Sometimes it doesn't, but we do have charging stations in some of our schools that will allow you to get your MacBooks at least a temporary charge, enough to get through the rest of the day. Some of the things that we can talk about are scheduling and agreeing upon times that the MacBook is used for homework and other activities. It's important to agree that you have to have honest and open dialogues about digital safety and other experiences as they occur, and of course to make adjustments over time. So let's take a look at what the student laptop agreement looks like. If you download this presentation, you will have access to all of these forms. This is the parent-student laptop agreement. Like I said, the very first thing is really kind of the only non-negotiable in the whole thing. The MacBook doesn't belong to the students, but to the school, and the main purpose for the MacBook is learning. Now, notice I said main purpose. One of the very first things that we would like you to talk about is what is acceptable use for the MacBook. Social media sites, games. Okay, so our students' MacBooks have several different types of filters. Some of the filters are inside in the programming in the computer, and those prevent certain types of websites from being accessed, and those are always on. Some of the filters are filters that are go through our Wi-Fi here at the school, but they don't exist when they get home. And so they will have access to some social media sites, possibly. They may have access to some gaming sites. And so it's kind of going to be up to you to discuss it with your child to figure out what's appropriate. So it's going to be kind of up to you to decide what uses the computer will be put to outside of education. Another topic of discussion is where to charge the MacBook. It's becoming pretty clear to people who are in districts that have one-to-one, or people who have given their teen a smartphone. If the device is nearby, it's going to be in their hands. So what we as instructional coaches recommend is you find a central charging place, somewhere away from the bedroom, away from where your student sleeps, kitchen, living room, somewhere to plug the MacBook in and charge it. This should eliminate some of those problems of late night computer session. Like I said, if you would like a copy of this document, it is available in this slideshow, or if you email tech services or email your instructional technology coach, we can get you a copy of it. Okay, so for these next couple of slides, I could read the slide to you, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you how to get to the documents we're going to talk about. I'm going to start at the normanpublicschools.org website. This is our main website page. If you look down, there's another picture of those people. They just keep showing up everywhere. Here's how you get to the important stuff for us as far as technology goes. If you look at the blue menu bar up at the top, click on Parents and Technology. Parents and Technology will take you to a page that talks about EyeTech, talks about the initiative itself, and it has a couple of very important pieces of paper. The first one is the acceptable use policy. If I click the acceptable use policy, it will take me to a page with an embedded document. This is the district acceptable use for district-owned electronic devices. This covers the computer that I have. It covers the computer that you have. All of us have signed this document already. It's part of the enrollment papers, so it has already been signed. It has already been filled out. I'm showing you where it is so that if you want to go through it and read through it, and if you have any questions that come up, here it is. The entire document talks about loss, theft, and vandalism, what happens, what the student's action should be, what your action should be, police reports, all of that. And then we scroll down, and there's, like I said, all of this has already been filled out on your enrollment paperwork, but you also have the expectations for the student, expectations for the parent, and the various terms of agreement. Incredibly short read, and it will kind of lay out exactly what the expectations are for everybody. Jump back to that initial technology page, what is EyeTech, and we scroll just a little bit down. Over on the right side under resources, we have a whole bunch of blue links. Some of these are really, really good, talking about our Google apps and tutorials for how to use them, tutorials for Keynote, various good, useful links over here. But the one I want to show you right now is the optional protection plan. So if we click on that, it will take us to a document that is the optional protection plan. All of the instructions are listed here. The rules, the protections, what it covers. I'm going to let you know right here, the optional protection plan does not cover chargers. Your MacBook is going to come with a charger. The charger is about $80. This is one of the reasons we strongly recommend you charge the MacBook overnight and bring it fully charged to school, because chargers are the one high loss item that we consistently have. Students will leave them behind in a classroom, or somebody will just walk off with them. So the charger is about $79. There's an extension cable that comes with it. That's another $20. This is an important piece of this computer. Now, the rest of this, one important fact, if it's $50 annually for one device. So each device is $50, unless if your student qualifies for free and reduced lunch, it's $25 a device. Or if you have 3 or more students in the middle or high school, it's $25 per device. There's a phone number on here who to contact. When you click on this, it's a Microsoft Word document. You can download it, you can print it, and send it to school with your student. They will take it to the technology services person who will get them all entered. So take a look, think about it. What I want to impress upon you is that it is indeed optional. Okay, actually 2 more things I want to look at with you. Let's go back to our technology page, and if we scroll down 4 links on the left side, we'll see digital citizenship and safety. Digital citizenship is kind of my thing right now. I spent much of the summer developing the web pages for digital citizenship, and that got me really kind of focused on it. It is incredibly important for what we do. Because our computers are literally connected to the entire world, digital citizenship is important for us. And we want to include you in the conversations we're having. So, if you click Digital Citizenship and Safety, it will take you to this page. We have created a web page with resources for you. The resources will be updated throughout the year. We've gone with Common Sense Education, which is a nationally recognized leader in digital citizenship education. They have created lesson plans for K through 12. And so each grade level has its own lessons talking about some of the core values and ideas of digital citizenship. While you're talking to them at home using those resources, we here in school will be talking to them using the Common Sense Education resources and their lesson plans. This is, for example, the 6th grade, second half of 6th grade digital citizenship. And there are 6 lessons. Lessons like finding credible news sources, phishing scams that try to steal passwords or money, how to balance your digital life and your actual social life, online chatting rules, who are you online, the idea that nothing ever goes away on the internet. So if you post a picture now, that picture will probably be around in some form for the rest of your life, and how people are using information we post to find out things about us or to make up stories about us. I went to a seminar this summer in which the Canadian professor who was teaching the seminar told us about his experience being the face of over 1,000 scam websites. Somebody at some point grabbed his picture and started creating dating profiles, and his life has been very, very challenging, with police departments from around the world contacting him to find out if he indeed set up some sort of scam to steal money from people. It was really interesting, and it kind of just grabbed several of us to think about what it was we were posting on social media and what could be done with it. This is a link to Common Sense Education's family engagement resources. 6 separate links, 6 separate topics, and let's see what happens if we click on one. So we click on it and it redirects us to Common Sense Education, and we scroll down. These are essentials. These are things that they think every parent should know, no matter the grade level, and the conversations that parents should have with students. And then, as you scroll down, there are lessons for grades 6 through 8, an article, a video, and some top picks for an app. And these change from time to time. We also, on this web page, have some other resources, talking with kids about being online. This is a pamphlet from the Federal Trade Commission, and these are some videos from Federal Trade Commission about cyberbullying, and from the stopbullying.gov websites. Like I said, as we create more resources, we will put some more into this for you. Finally, the last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you instead of just showing you my slides, because I think it's pretty important. We're going to go to Google Classroom. Google Classroom is probably something new for you, because elementary schools, because of their device situation, don't use it a lot, because they also don't switch classes very often. I'm going to show you, and this is a website that doesn't really have any students in it right now, Google Classroom, so I can kind of show you how it's set up. It's almost, if you've ever taken a class at OU or Rose State or OCCC, or, well, just about anywhere, even industry training takes place in online situations. To manage a lot of that, most places have something that's called a learning management system, Blackboard or Canvas or any number of other ones. Google Classroom is not quite a learning management system like those used by universities, but it's really close, and here's how it works. When you first open a class, you'll see the stream. The stream is almost like a social media news feed. It's got information for things that have been posted. Mr. Kalinsky created a new assignment in this class. I created a new assignment. I posted an assignment. Kind of just gives them a heads up so that you can scroll through and see what's going on. The classwork page has actual assignments on it. This is where you can ask a question of the class. You can create a poll question. We as teachers can create assignments, quiz assignments, questions, materials. Say we have an online textbook, or I have some materials that I've developed that I want them to have access to. All of those kinds of things can be created in this classroom. Students, when they get an assignment, receive their own classroom folder on Google Drive. For those of you who have never messed around with the Google Suite, the way Google works is if you go to drive.google.com, you can sign up for a Google Drive, which is cloud storage for your stuff. As Norman Public School students, they have a Google Drive automatically associated with their email address, and that's where all of their Google Classrooms and their assignments, that's where it links to. Google Drive for us is unlimited storage. So basically from 6th through 12th grade, they can keep every single thing they create in Google and then transfer it over to a personal drive after they get done with their Norman Public Schools career. Here's what I was talking about. Here's every time a student, the first time they get assigned to a Google Classroom, this folder appears and it's called Classroom. In that folder, and this is my Google folder, this is every class I have either created or have been a part of in the last 4 years. So from here, I can open up the classroom we were just looking at, new teacher induction, and we can look at the various assignments. So this was the assignment Mr. Kalinsky created, and here are the assignments that people have actually filled out. So when a student gets an assignment in Google Classroom, it goes into an electronic folder stored in the cloud. They cannot lose an assignment. Even if they went in and accidentally deleted an assignment, if I were to delete this assignment right now, it would go into the trash and it would sit there for 30 days. So I accidentally delete Alicia's work. I click remove. It says it will still be accessible by collaborators. I go to trash and it's sitting there. So on the student side, the assignment doesn't go away. If for some reason it did actually disappear, on the teacher's computer is this exact same folder with all of the assignments in it. As the student updates it on their computer through the cloud, it updates on my computer. So I have a record of what the student is doing. So it really is genuinely virtually impossible to lose an assignment using Google Classroom. The beauty of Google Classroom is I can create videos, I can create written assignments, I can create all sorts of innovative and new assignments because I don't actually have to rely on a piece of paper to get my job done, to get the information to students. So what does this mean for you as a parent? Well, here's what you need to do. Go to one of your child's teachers, any teacher that has a Google Classroom, and request a guardian summary. You can see right here it says guardian summaries. This is what a guardian summary looks like. It is simply an email summary of what's going on in the classroom. You can you can ask them to turn on your Google summaries. If it gets turned on in one class, it's turned in all of the classes. So you will see a summary for all of your students' classes. Missing work, work that's due next week, work that got turned in, all of it is there. Now, understand that is all you can see. You can't see what the student got as a grade on it. None of it. So, our biggest recommendation for Google Classroom, if you would really like to see how Google Classroom works, sit down with your student. Say, show me what's in your Google Classroom. And they can show you. They can show you where their assignments are, what's due, all of that. And here's how they can show you what's due. If you click on the 3 lines and go to do, it brings up a to-do list of all of the assignments that will be due for your student in all of their classes. It also creates a Google Calendar on their computer linked specifically with this class. Any assignments show up in that Google Calendar. There's also a direct link to the Google Drive class folder, so they don't ever have to struggle to figure out where that class is in their Google Drive. Each class creates a direct link. Google Classroom is pretty amazing. It's part bulletin board, it's part assignment inbox, it's part filing cabinet. It's pretty good, and it gets better all the time. Google really does work to keep us on top of things. So let's see, we covered all of those slides. We covered digital citizenship. We are pretty much done. This is the link to the digital resources page. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put up 2 slides. I'm going to go to this slide so that you can get that information really quickly if you would like it. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you have any questions at all, and I mean any questions, and you can't figure out who your EyeTech coach is, email me. I'll let you know who your EyeTech coach is. I'll get you in touch with them, and I will try to answer your question. All of the instructional technology coaches are here for this community. We are here to innovate and change things and make things work as well as they can possibly work. And so we actually like hearing from people. So, on that note, we will wrap it up. Thank you for checking in, and have a great rest of the school year.